We are live. This is the market update. I am your host, Bill Noble. Welcome to the survival stream. Is this the end of crypto? Can you hold on? Should you hold on? Is there anything bullish out there? Is there any news from sovereigns or corporations that isn't full of Hershey's Kiss emojis? And for God's sakes, can we stop the drone shows with the Bitcoin logo? Oh my God, I'm at work last night and somebody sends this to me on Twitter and I'm like, oh my God, please stop it. Of course, the market's down 5% the next day. Not surprising. Okay, first off, we want to thank Grandpa Keeter. He has been a member for 6 months and now he has the notorious crown emoji next to his name. Right? I appreciate your business, sir, as is true for the YouTube members and the Patreon members who all got a special thing that we did about AI. AI is all over the news, everywhere except in crypto. All we're interested in is Farcoin, and I just can't believe how stupid this market really is. Not you, but the market. So if you want to check out what we got on AI, and we're going to expand on it. You know, we're going, robotics are next. Like, you want to hear something crazy? Let's start the stream off with something crazy. Let's get crazy. Ready? So what would be, if I had to say from, you know, like I said, we have a whole bunch of like AI stuff and what happened, what are the best coins if you get, you know, AI in crypto? What's the best robotics play in crypto? Probably Truth Terminal, right? Goat, fart, maybe. But, you know, do you want to listen to Truth Terminal in an interview on CNBC, or could it be AIntivirus and John McAfee? What happens if John McAfee is in a robot? I had slides. We may have talked about it 2 days ago, where robotics is going to be a $10 trillion industry. $10 trillion industry. And what are we doing right now? What are we doing? We're trading tariffs. Now we'll talk about that. We'll talk about a short video I did on tariffs. And, you know, if you want the extra coaching and whatever you're going to need, particularly when this market turns around, along with our chat, you want to check out Patreon. In other words, this market has been lobotomized. We're going to talk about, I think it's Ghibli, right? Studio Ghibli. We are so bored and so depressed that we have gone Studio Ghibli instead of LuxAlgo. And I continue to believe, even though you may think I'm out of my mind, that they got to do something at Bitcoin Vegas, right? Like, looking at this market today, it's like they probably want to do something at Bitcoin Vegas, and now someone's going to tap them on the shoulder and tell them that they have to do something. They have to do something. And if you look back to this, because this is quarter end, and this is part of the reason why the market's a mess, right? Because quarter end, options expiration, you just get random price action. It's all random, right? Everyone's like, oh my God, let's read into this. Let's not. But 90 days ago, I said this to the Eagle King before we started. 90 days ago, if you told me we would be doing what I call survival streams, meaning we got to keep our audience, we got to keep the channel, we got to keep our members happy. If we would be doing survival streams in 9 months, I would have told you we were crazy. We would be at 120K. Uncle Sugar, every corporation would be buying Bitcoin. Instead, what do we got? Drone shows and GameStop. I mean, literally, it's like I don't know whether to drink my coffee or empty it out and puke in the cup. That's how stupid this is. And I'm in a Starbucks. I'm like, let me do a video on tariffs. Tariffs. I do a video like double the normal amount of views in 10 minutes. Everybody thinks it's over because of tariffs. It's complete bunk. You should be on robotics and AI. Now, I don't know how to trade robotics and crypto except McAfee. Like, Everyone's like, oh, look what ChatGPT can do with images. Oh, look at this. Where are we going to be with this stuff in 2 years? Because 2 years ago, I was actually paying somebody to make thumbnails because it was that difficult. Now it's like, me and Eagle King, like, blah, 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 boom, done. We're on the air. 2 years. Now, 2 years from now, where are they going to be, given that you have exponential growth and development? Okay. So we're going to go over that. We're going to go over like news that is laughable. We're going to go over what everyone is eating up. And then we're going to do some TA on the market. So let's welcome who's here. Okay, Bull Runner, today's Tech Bites, Chase Wright, Grandpa Keener, welcome. Josh, right? Kemania, the crew, Bob Marsh, wrong again, right? Josh Harper, how much good news can you get and still going down? Bro, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. This market has been totally immune to good news because they fed us so much Kool-Aid in Q4 that I don't know where the disappointment trade ends. Hopefully soon. But we're just going to talk about the trade and the mentality that we want to have, because you're undoubtedly looking at this and you're like, I want to quit. I don't blame you, but we're not doing that. And I'm going to show you why. That we're not going to quit, right? MXTT, a new name. Welcome. Crypto Scam 1, DC Precise. What's up? Okay. A1. Sometimes the news is just unbelievable. It really is. Oh, here we are. Right in my backyard in Austin, Texas, downtown, we're doing a drone show with Bitcoin. And I'm like, please stop it. Please stop it. At this point, I want everyone bearish. I want everyone to hate me. I want everybody to be bearish Bitcoin. You know, everybody on AIntivirus, everybody. I would prefer that. It would be more bullish than this. Oh my God. The Vegas Dome, Super Bowl tickets, Formula One. Stop it. Stop it. Just stop it. Now, so why do boomers own everything? Boomers in their 30s had 20% of the nation's wealth. Well, okay, that's easy. They bought S&P in 1982, and they just hodled through every crash, through every problem, right? They bought the dip in 87. If they didn't puke it out in 2008 or 2002, they just kept buying more in their 401ks. They bought houses. They bought second houses. Then rates went to zero. They refinanced everything at 3%. And then there was a housing bubble again. So they got a stock market bubble. The Fed printed. They got a housing bubble. And basically they just hodled and let the bubbles happen. And they were rich. They did nothing. They just hodled. They read their Charles Schwab rules, ignored the noise, and they just hodled. That's it, right? Gen X can't hodl through anything because, you know, they didn't believe the stock market rally. And even if they did, they had no money because 2001 and 2008 impacted their employment picture. There was no money to save. Maybe they caught stocks, maybe, but not like the boomers did. The boomers caught stocks in like 82, 87. They had enough money to buy the dip in 2008. They refied their house. They got levered long NVIDIA in 2014. Now, what does this have to do with crypto? Well, people, you know, boomers were buying stuff when everyone hated it. No one wanted to touch equities in 2009. 1987, a guy bought a gold bar and went home and sat in his bed in a fetal position. No one wanted to touch it. So they bought everything when no one wanted to touch it. And then they just waited for the Fed to come in and print. That's it. That's what they did. Now, the question is, what are you doing? Well, I don't know. You're looking at your P&L. You're looking at the screen. You wake up in the morning, me and the Eagle King looked at this thing, and this is what we said. Or, that's the market update. That's what we said. Now, that's the most important time to do the market update, particularly when all the selling is going on at quarter end. This is unbelievable. It really is. So SBF is being transferred to Oklahoma because somehow he got an interview with Tucker Carlson in prison and is not allowed to do that. I have no idea how you do an interview with Tucker Carlson and no one knows you're doing it. And what's really happening is there's a controversial public figure in the same jail as him. And they're worried that the controversial public figure is going to tell SBF everything. And then SBF is going to go on Tucker Carlson and tell Tucker or whatever. So somehow FTX will never go away. FTX in 2022 almost destroyed the entire market, and we are as bearish as we were back then. And sometimes I think we're actually getting more bearish because we're more disappointed because, as that person rightly pointed out, all the news is good and it continues to go down. All the news is good. So FTX, right? It's like, how's everything going in the world? Let's see. FTX in the news, BitBoy's in jail, ETH sub 2K. No wonder it feels like it's over. No wonder. I mean, if you had said 3 years ago, 5 years ago, I don't know, like even now, okay, yeah, BitBoy's going to jail, ETH's going sub 2K. If you had said that in January, people would have thought you were out of your mind. You were out of your mind. Probably that's why all the shorts made all this money, because they did the trade when people thought they were out of their mind. Now, this is unbelievable. So thanks to Eagle King, who's really good at the ChatGPT art stuff. I do have a Studio Ghibli picture of myself on my Twitter, and we are all so bored. We are so bored, so discouraged that everybody has to have a Studio Ghibli picture of themselves, their wife, their husband, their parents, everybody. I mean, if you don't have Studio Ghibli, are you on the planet? This reminds me of NFTs in some way, right? I don't know. Is that SBF? I think so. We're so bored. Now, have we reached the limit? God, I hope so. Okay, wrong. Oh my God, wrong again with a $10 super chat. Price action shows that Wall Street does not understand crypto. Somebody doesn't understand crypto, bro. Somebody doesn't. It could be Wall Street. It could be us. I mean, I'm a little bit, I mean, yeah, Wall Street doesn't understand that they have to do it, but AI is going to force the issue on stable coins. And let me tell you something. If you want to walk away from crypto, you got to hear what this guy I used to work with, Jordy Visser, used to say. This guy has picked up 17,000 Twitter followers in like 4 months, and he's going to be huge. Because I know how this guy thinks, because he was the original author of the Market Update. I read his stuff every single day. It was like a DM, a mass broadcast DM in the Bloomberg terminal. He wrote every single day. And he went from being a sales guy to being a fund manager. Now he's going to be like, he could possibly be the preeminent thought leader, because he's the only guy talking about AI and crypto as a dual theme. So without further ado, let's get to Jordy Visser, who actually just took like a quarterly report from Stripe, the payment processing system, and turned it into a manifesto about stablecoins and Bitcoin. So if you want to quit crypto, wait before you quit. As Jocko, the Navy SEAL, says, if you're going to quit, quit tomorrow. Don't quit today. Listen to this. So just read Stripe's 2024 annual letter. It reveals how AI agents, and stablecoins are merging into a single unstoppable force for digital finance and payments. Stripe processes $1.4 trillion a year. Okay, that's up 38% year over year. That's 1% of global GDP. That's a staggering number for like a credit card payment system. Like I use it for Patreon and stuff like that. Okay. Stripe is more than a payment companies. AI companies are scaling revenue. AI agents are now making purchases. Stablecoins are the key to future financial infrastructure. AI agents are transacting autonomously. For decades, payment systems were optimized for humans. Stripe is already building AI agents to optimize payments for machines. Okay. And these are not chatbots. 700 agents launched on Stripe. Initiate transactions, approve or decline, manage financial decisions. In other words, DeFi and AI, a huge theme in the YouTube member area, which you will not shut up about. This is machine commerce at scale. So who's going to build Web3? Well, obviously the humans can't figure it out. Or we'd have, we wouldn't have defecation derby in altcoins. So we're all over this again. It's just all over it. Perplexity, 11 Labs, redefining AI-powered commerce. Like you can ask Perplexity about things and it'll give you a link to go buy something. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to try. Stripe calls stablecoins room temperature superconductor for financial services. Cheaper, faster, programmable, borderless. This is what enables AI native payment systems. Stablecoin adoption is exploding. Everyone wants in. Now, I thought everybody wanted in because stablecoin projects buy treasuries. But stablecoins may explode. And of course, this is what drove the 2017 rally, but no one remembers that. Okay? This is how we get a global network effect for digital assets. In other words, tokenize everything, right? So you thought it was BlackRock that was going to lead it. It's actually going to be Stripe. And then probably every bank and payment system, Visa, MasterCard, everybody is going to follow. Stripe is enabling AI companies to scale faster. AI agents to transact. Stablecoins bridge finance globally. Now, this is where this is why, like, this guy does this quietly, and that helps him, and I do it loud. If you're not paying attention to AI, crypto, and digital finance, you're missing the biggest financial transformation since the internet itself. Stripe's 2024 letter is a signal of how fast the shift is happening. How fast it's happening. Mark Anderson called it in 2024, right? There's a guy who wrote something like, software eats the world, or like, how finance bridges Bitcoin, things like that. Why Bitcoin matters is the book. He said, digital finance will merge software and money, unlocking unstoppable global network effects. A network effect is like the more people use it, the bigger the network grows, and then the network grows exponentially. Like, I don't know, like Facebook or something back in the day. The more people used it, the more people used it. Stripe's letter confirms it's happening. AI stablecoins are accelerating the world Bitcoin envisioned. The future is here, and we are out. Done. Like, we can't even look at the tape. Like, that's how you know the future is here, because we can't even look at it. We can't buy it. We can't hold it. P&L bleeds every day. Nobody wants to be here anymore. Everybody is done. I'm puking in my coffee cup. Everybody's like, I got guys on me about antivirus. I mean, it is unbelievable. The future is here, and we've all permanently pressed the stupid button. And we have ridiculous stuff like drone shows about Bitcoin. What we should be doing is reading this and getting in the YouTube member area and getting AI, and I'm determined to get robotics in there. Now, I'm convinced that the selling point for antivirus is a McAfee robot. Not just a McAfee podcast, not just a McAfee hologram, but a robot taking his widow Janice out to dinner. You seen any of these videos about Chinese robots doing acrobatics and kung fu? How long do you think before they just load an agent into one of those things and you get in a subway and you get in a subway and you mind your own business and you look over and it's a freaking robot? Or you turn on CNBC and John McAfee's talking. I mean, name 10 people. Name 5 people who you would want brought back from the dead, who you would want to listen to on a regular basis. Not that many people. McAfee would be one of those people, particularly if you consider that he predicted all this before anyone else did back in 2018. Just saying. And even if that's not true, you got to figure out how to get on this robotics trade because, again, we got it in the PowerPoint. And if I've said it before, I don't care if I'm saying it again. And Jordy has told everybody that if you're focusing on tariffs and all this nonsense, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind with this trade happening right now. Top 20 trending coins. Move, okay, that's federal government. Makes sense. Hyperliquid, okay. Barachain, new stuff. Okay, so any of this stuff in here that's new, good. And the only thing we got for AI is Fartcoin. So crypto's version of everything that Jordy just said is Fartcoin. And Bitcoin is at number 13. No one interested. No one in crypto interested anyway. So Zero Hedge undoubtedly getting a lot of attention with this. Elon's not going to cut $1 trillion. $1 trillion is a warm-up. They can't cut fast enough because they can't process the paperwork. This is federal government debt projected. So right now, it's 100% of what we make, right? And, you know, when people get old and they need Social Security and Medicare, it's just going to be exponential. So they got to cut way more than $1 trillion. They just can't do it because they can't process the paperwork. Government employees, they invented this system where you can't fire anybody because all the paperwork has to be done manually by hand. It's not like, you know, you just push a button and send an email and say, don't bother coming to work today. It doesn't work that way in the government. It doesn't. It doesn't. So they're going to keep cutting and cutting, 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 cutting. Matter of fact, I told somebody today, you want to get someone's attention on a Friday? How about this? Walk into a bar, walk into a diner, walk into a crowded deli and say, hi, you know what? Inflation's going to zero. Inflation's going to zero. Now you will get the same look that you got when rates were at zero, even before Powell and Yellen were talking about inflation being transitory because of COVID. So rates were at zero. Inflation was probably already at 10%. And they were trying to tell you it wasn't there. And then, of course, inflation went to 30% or 40% or 50%. Everything at Costco 3x'd. They posted some fake number that inflation went to 6%. Powell panic tightened and destroyed the middle class. No housing, credit card debt, disaster, whatever. The guy is so wrong, it's unbelievable. Meanwhile, back at the Fed ranch now, he just raised his inflation format or his inflation forecast because of tariffs. Meanwhile, you're about to have a massive employment problem. I'm going to be honest with you. I am losing sleep. I am losing sleep. The 4th Infantry Division is an hour north of me in Killeen, Texas. And I had no idea until Zero Hedge published it. You have 10,000 federal workers, not 10,000 soldiers, not 10,000, not that. 10,000 federal workers in Killeen, which is not a big city. Matter of fact, it's kind of a bunghole, really. It's got an army base and what you would associate with army bases, which is, you know, adult entertainment and muscle car dealers. Because soldiers get money, and as soon as they get money, they buy a muscle car. But you got 10,000 federal employees. And if Elon dings 80%, that's 8,000 people flooding into Austin looking for a job. I'm like, oh my God. You can't get a job in Austin to begin with because everybody who gets hired here, it's a tech town, is all H-1B visas. What happens when you got 8,000 federal workers walking in? I mean, there'll be no help wanted signs at Chick-fil-A. This is happening, right? Inflation's going to zero, and so are interest rates. And the Fed's like, oh, wow, I got to adjust the inflation forecast. Because, you know, I'm not getting fired, so we're not getting fired. No one's getting fired. Oh, my God. It's 4 million people working for the government. 4.5 million people, 80%. So if you have inflation down, rates down, dollar down, which is why gold is up only, and you have AI agents about to get loose, building essentially Web3, because we can't do it for whatever reason, because humans are pumpers and dumpers or whatever it is we are. And computers are going to look at us and like, look at these carbon meat bags who can't get crypto going. Let's press a button and boom. And then this is going to happen. And we're selling everything. I mean, we hate it. We hate it. We hate me. We hate crypto. We don't want to be here anymore. It's done. We can't talk about it. That is crazy. Crazy. Doomberg, tariff-driven inflation boost is inevitable, says the deep state's tool. Shut up. Inflation was transitory. Oh, yeah, the unemployment is transitory in Virginia. Yeah, sure, bro. It's transitory. You know, the orange man's going to have he's going to build a car factory instantly that's going to employ 5 million people. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. It's not funny. It's not funny at all. And I've said this, right? The American left is waiting for all these sobbing people to come out of buildings with boxes to say, hey, come on over here. Embrace our ideology. They're already setting up rallies. They're already setting it up. God forbid those people get in power. You're going to want antivirus privacy mixer. If that happens, I can tell you right now. But meanwhile, again, crypto discarded. No one wants it. Everybody wants to know how baby boomers got so rich. They bought everything when everyone hated it and just held it. They never touched it. And if they did a bad trade, they reversed it and got an S&P or got in a house. Antivirus, check it out. John McAfee's going in a robot in 2 years or less. His latest podcast is already out today. People are acting like these things are not happening. They're happening. That's why Jordy Visser, let's go check. Let's check the views on that tweet. This, oh my God, please stop it. Please stop it. Just for laughs. 75K impressions on this tweet, right? 400 likes, 77 retweets. The guy's got like what? 17,000 followers. He's got 75,000 impressions talking about an annual report letter from Stripe. 75,000 views. I'm glad someone's listening out there. This is what you should be listening to. Gold prices have moved in a straight line. So what's going on here? Well, I know what's going on here. It's a dollar devaluation at best. You know, at worst, the Treasury is going to do something. I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to reprice gold, say it's valued at $5,000 an ounce. You know, assets minus liabilities equals equity, right? That's accounting. So we have $37 trillion in liability. So how do we keep equity from going to zero or negative and staying there? Well, we got to increase Greenland, Canada, and then just take all our gold, buy all the gold that we can, and then just basically say the gold market's closed. Gold is now $10,000 an ounce. Everyone turning their gold. And all of a sudden, our A goes up along with everybody else's. And that's the rumor. Who knows if that's true or not? All I know is this is up only, and we are just selling everything. We cannot sell fast enough. And every single, it's like, okay, the guy who said the news is all bunk, you're right. The news is all bunk. We got duped. They rugged us. It's horrible. Our bags, you're right. However, the signs about the future are right here in front of your face. And I have to look at this. Like when I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself. I wake up in the morning and I look at this and I go, oh my God. Oh my God. I'm not talking to you. I am talking to you, but I'm talking to myself. I got to tell myself this story so I can be upright and be on the air and not be in bed in the fetal position going, oh my God, the sky is falling. Because the sky isn't, it is, but it's the biggest opportunity. I don't know. It feels like the biggest opportunity since stocks bottomed in 1982 after Volcker had to go ballistic with hiking rates to 20%. That's what it feels like. Look at this. All loss realization in the Bitcoin market is currently coming from short-term holders. So people who bought it in the last 6 months are puking. Recent buyers navigating volatile conditions. Meanwhile, long-term holders greater than 6 months remain in profit and are the main source of profit taking. So you have puking, you have profit taking, everyone out, everyone in, everyone out, everyone back in again. What happens when everyone gets back in again? And the everyone is machines. Machines are like, wow, you guys are idiots. Let's just proliferate these stable coins. We got $9 trillion in treasuries. Excellent. Let's take the $9 trillion in treasuries. Let's print stable coins. And it's almost like, I'm calling it crypto QE. That's what it is. Everyone wants stable coins. So they're going to leverage treasury. They're going to, because the Treasury Secretary has already said, we're going to lever up the banking system. What does that mean exactly? Well, I don't know, but he wants money out there, right? You take treasuries, you create stable coins, and stable coins go into Web3 and Bitcoin. Duh, right? Or, the government backs lending and then we start building stuff, right? This whole thing about the tariffs is to try to scare everybody to come over here and start building stuff. And we'll guarantee the loans and we'll get you, it's like Hyundai. Like we'll get you the loans, we'll get you the money, we'll get you the tax breaks. Just get over here and start building anything. Because assets minus liabilities equals equity. We got to get the most assets that we can. This is a big thing in accounting. And Trump, if he doesn't know, Trump knows a lot, I think. But if he doesn't, he knows assets minus liabilities equals equity. Why do you think the first thing he started talking about was Canada and Greenland? Meanwhile, crypto people just are puking everything. We're selling everything. Well, you know who we're selling it to? BlackRock and machines. I don't know if the machines are buying it now, but they will be. Now, notice what we got here with Elon. Okay, so they burned down his dealerships. Look at these characters. Look at this. They got the White House in the backdrop. Elon's not wearing some dumb tech bro costume, right? With his hat and all of that. They got these guys. Founder of Airbnb in here. Oh my God. And then look at the backdrop. Look at this backdrop. What do you think these guys are going to do? This is CEOs, by the way. This isn't a bunch of kids. They advertise it initially. It's Elon and a bunch of kids. No. CEO of Airbnb is in here. These guys want to go down in history and want to be more famous than the guys who wrote the Declaration of Independence, because these guys have to save the country, according to Elon, and that's true. So you're gonna protest outside of his dealership. You're gonna key some Teslas and stop this? Oh my God, no way. Inflation is going to zero. Zero. The Fed has a dual mandate. Okay, let's keep everybody employed with sugar. Like, so employment up, inflation up more. Okay, employment, inflation. Inflation's going to zero. Book scanning robot preparing food for large language models. They don't have enough data. They don't have enough, right? Everybody is focused, and I make jokes about it, about Skynet, about the machines, about all this stuff. What happens when these guys start trading? Like, you're going to have agents, everyone at the beginning of the year. Like, okay, what did we get rugged on? Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, states, corporations, XRP ETF is going to happen, but we got rugged on all these altcoins being in the strategic reserve. What are we not getting rugged on? What are we not even focusing? That AI agents are going to come in and they're going to provide finance in crypto. You're not going to have to figure out crypto. You're not going to have to figure out DeFi. You're going to have to buy some coin or stake whatever coin it is, and it's going to turn it into ETH or Bitcoin and just go out there and get you the yield that you want. You just deposit your ETH and they'll go out and get you yield. And, I don't know. Everyone will need to buy the coin in order to get in those ecosystems. If you want to into the agent ecosystem, like I asked Grok, like, Grok, give me a robotics coin in crypto. And I have to do more stuff. So the actual answer is Fetch, I think, or artificial super intelligence token, because they're just big enough to do the whole agent network thing. That makes sense. And then there's like, who do you want inside of a robot? Who do you want to listen to? I mean, a Marilyn Monroe robot might be interesting because of the visual, right? Frank Sinatra robot might be interesting because he might be able to make new music. I'm sure everybody would like to see robot Elvis, but who do you want to get like investment or tech investing? Who's the thought leader? Who's the thought leader? He was McAfee was the thought leader in 2018. Just that nobody followed him until now. Until now. And we still don't believe it. Still don't believe it. Okay, so let's talk about the wrong FOMO. You want to talk about FOMO? Let's talk about FOMO. So the orange man says we're doing tariffs. And everybody knows that as soon as he says tariffs, everyone's going to panic. Doomberg's got it everywhere. The Fed's got it everywhere. Oh my God, I need to buy my Ferrari now. So what's Ferrari do? Raise prices 10%. You're not negotiating on any price. You come in, you pay sticker plus 10%, or you get out because the line is out the door because everyone's FOMOing in. Our trade deficit, meaning the amount we export versus the amount we import, right? So if you import more than you export, you have a negative number. Over the last 2 months, our trade deficit is so high, it's absurd. Like everybody who needs anything, steel, copper, whatever, dishwashers, I don't even know. They are buying absolutely everything. They are so scared of the orange man about these tariffs, and the orange man has them eating out of his hand. He's like, look at these fools. Look at them panicking. I just want everything to come over here. And if it doesn't, well, okay, I'll take the money anyway because I have to borrow $9 trillion. So I'll have Elon cutting costs and me bringing in revenue. And it's kind of just that simple. But everybody is panicking. They're panic buying raw materials when they should be panic buying Bitcoin or any type of AI-based crypto. So it's like everyone's going to go out and buy a Ferrari. God forbid a Ferrari goes up 10, 20, 15%. It's the end of the world. Meanwhile, crypto is just cascading lower. You're going to look back at this and you're going to look back and this is like, like 25 years from now, they're going to look at what happened in 2020 and they're going to look at everyone selling Bitcoin after the election and they're going to go, what were these people doing? We are living in the age of stupidity. Like they put something on television, everyone buys into it. Yeah, we got hosed at the top. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We got hosed at the top. Okay. But now that it's not at the top anymore, what do you want to do? Like even at the top, no one was talking about the AI trade. Everyone's talking about NVIDIA topping or NVIDIA having problems. NVIDIA may have problems, but again, AI has been traded everywhere except crypto. Yeah, we had like one pump, like, Singularity Net pumped and then dumped. And then Fart and Goat pumped and then dumped. We haven't traded this at all. And Jordy thinks the AI trade is Bitcoin because he thinks it's a prosperous digital network effect future. Oh, who's talking about that? Nobody except him, which is why his Twitter is on tilt. Orange man, done with the World Trade Organization. Still think you have to watch out if they show up with something at that Bitcoin conference. I'm telling you, no one's talking about that. They cannot show up with whatever they got going now on the tape because what they got going on now on the tape, frankly, sounds pathetic. If they have nothing more than a drone show at Bitcoin Vegas in May, then I will get bearish. I will be like, oh my God, that's probably the bottom too, by the way. If they show up and they don't have new and interesting content, okay. DeepSeek, Google, ChatGPT-4. They can't get this stuff out fast enough. We got something here. The Japanese gave somebody a stem cell injection and they got up and walked. Chinese say slamming tariffs is bad. Orange man bad. They're just going to have to print harder. Just going to have to print harder. They're printing. Their stock market is already up like 20%. They're just going to have to print more. That's all. If the orange man, hopefully the orange man doesn't lean on them too much and they lose their mind. Okay. I don't want that to happen because, you don't want these people angry, but they're just going to have to print harder. Okay. So here we are. This is the news media. News media. We're not focusing on a prosperous future, are we? No. We're not focusing on AI agents doing transactions with stablecoin, Bitcoin, or whatever. Nope. We're out on the streets looking at everybody that Nancy Pelosi should be taking care of instead of being a hedge fund. It's a distraction. Everything I'm giving you here is a distraction. XRP ETF, 85% chance. Okay. The reason XRP ETF has got an 85% chance is because they desperately need to get XRP going as a banking solution to help banks cut costs. Normally, Polymarket is right. Polymarket was wrong. They had Bowden at 84%, 85% as the candidate. I said, that's wrong. Hopefully, they're not wrong about this. Because that ETF and the Solana ETF need to happen. Right? Because when AI starts transacting, that money has got to flow over into the big layer one networks because humans don't know what to do with the layer one networks. So hopefully machines can get an ICO or some kind of boom going inside the crypto networks and use these layer ones for something. Hopefully it's DeFi. Because, you know, in the YouTube member area, it's all we talk about is DeFi. Everybody is looking forward to what the SEC chair will say. I don't know. I mean, people are going to want Gensler back at this rate. This guy says Gensler was one of the stupidest people in government. We knew that already. Now the question is, what do you buy now? What do you do? I mean, the SEC is going to be like, we want this loose. Now, is that going to make the market go up? Probably not. The only thing that's going to make the market go up that these characters can say is that we're buying 200,000 Bitcoin this year. That's the only thing that these guys can say at this point. But the SEC is totally out of the way. They're going to pave the way for stable coins. It's already happening. Stripe is not threatened by stable coins. They want it. And Visa and MasterCard may be threatened, but they want it too. Or they're going to get left out. But we're hanging on every word from the SEC. This was the wrong thing. This is like sitting around waiting for government to moon your bags. You know, there was a part of me that wanted this, you know, like obviously it seemed totally bullish. You know, why would they not do what they said, but they didn't? And it's not government's job to moon our bags. It's our job, and we're not doing it, so machines will do it. Elon says goal of slashing $1 trillion is achievable. Sure it is. And when they do 1 trillion, they're going to want to do 2. Seriously. Why would this stop? I mean, by the time he actually cuts $1 trillion, like 2 years from now, they're going to have the midterm elections. If the orange man could somehow stay popular enough, they could get control of the Senate and the Congress. They could do whatever they want, honestly. So when they start cutting, they're just going to keep cutting. I don't see what stops this. I don't see what stops it. The Canadian Prime Minister says the era of close relationship with the United States is over. Bro, I got news for you. The era of cooperation with the United States was over like the minute Trudeau was sworn in. The minute Trudeau was sworn in. Okay. More on Elon. Even after adjusting for inflation, interest on the federal debt are set to explode unless Congress gets its act together and follows the lead of DOGE in taking chainsaws to the abuse, corruption, fraud, and waste in the budget. You are here. Inflation is going to 0. They are going to cut until it is at 0. The European Union is like, whoops, we better not mess with the orange man. Now, this, oh my God. GameStop. Corporations are going to buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. Sovereign Wealth Fund. XRP in the Strategic Reserve. This is what we get. We get GameStop. A defunct gaming company with $4 billion in cash issues more debt to buy Bitcoin at $80K. With no stated plan on how to use the brick and mortar aspect of its business to create something for Bitcoin. So MicroStrategy is a Bitcoin hedge fund. They refuse to build anything on Bitcoin, even though they have a software company. And now we have GameStop, which wants to be a leveraged, stupid MicroStrategy. I saw this and I saw the drone show and I'm like, thank God I wasn't on yesterday trying to be bullish or trying to be positive. Forget about it. It's unbelievable. Like machines are going to look at us and be like, oh, well, we're going to take over all this. The stupidity of this is unbelievable. JP Morgan predicts yield-bearing stablecoins could grow from 6% to 50% of the market, driven by rising demand for interest-bearing assets. This is the evil empire. The evil empire gets it, and we don't. When they print these stablecoins, you are going to have so much money pouring into this market, you're not going to know what to do. You're not. You're going to be like, oh my God, everything is moving. AI agents, they're going to be issuing coins, building stuff on blockchains. It's going to happen. I mean, John McAfee released a podcast this morning. You realize this? We got a talking dead guy. Talking dead guy. So if you have a talking dead guy and you have commerce going on to where Stripe has to reorganize itself for machines to do business, where is this going to be in a year? Where's it going to be in May? Where is this market going to be in December? We are so focused on stuff that doesn't matter. We're so disappointed. We're so disgruntled. And I understand why. But what the hell are we talking? Look at this. You want to talk about a distraction? So this goofball, who's a genius, right? In terms of like getting attention, right? I am pro-tariff. Absolutely. Free trade. I hate free trade. It's been an embarrassment to our country. What? He just made that up yesterday. This guy's on like the Orange Man Bad TV channel. Now he's like, oh, I absolutely agree. And of course, the market cascades lower. Communist News Network running commercials for Chinese electric vehicle companies. It's like the ineptitude is breathtaking. Putin says U.S. serious about acquiring Greenland. Dude, no duh. Assets minus liabilities equals equity. They have pristine blue water. I worked for a startup. They couldn't execute to save its life, but they had water rights in Greenland to blue water that you could just drink out of the water. Just drink. It's like coming from glaciers. They got water. They got strategic relevance. It's unbelievable. Like, I hope this company and these water rights, I mean, I don't know what those water rights are worth if the Orange Man comes in there and buys it. They're going to cut $1 trillion off the budget, and he's going to lever up and buy more assets, just like a real estate guy. Hey, what do we got to do? Buy real estate. Okay. Let's pick on the Canadians as a distraction and buy Greenland. They offer people in Greenland $30,000 a head to switch. They'll switch. Watch. Okay, I got to be honest with you. This is getting painful. Okay. This is Team Bitcoin. Okay. A 60-year-old senator and Mike. That's it. Where the hell is everybody? We got 60-year-old senator, Mike, and a drone show over Austin. Somebody call Skynet to run this market. I'm okay. Skynet, come on in, run this. We're stupid. We don't know what we're doing. But if anyone decides to listen to these people and act on it, and again, the Bitcoin conference in May, who is going to go to that conference? Here's the thing about the conference, right? So I'm an affiliate. That's why we have the link, whatever. I mean, and they're like, okay. So, I'm sort of like they call me a micro influencer. So, the big influencer agency guy, he takes me in as a, he's like, all right, let's give this old guy a shot. Right. And I get the affiliate link. And then these people are calling me a month and a half ago going, you know what, bro, if no one goes if you don't earn a certain amount, a certain number of people don't buy tickets, you're not going. We're not giving you tickets. I'm like, okay, that's an interesting attitude. Normally these conferences give us media passes and want us to do content and send the alpha back to our clients. But this guy's like, no. You got to sell a certain amount. You're not going. I'm like, okay, well, you're obviously not looking at the market. Your electricity must be out, or you live in a hut somewhere. Then they called me up 2 days ago. Like, sent me emails like, hey, we want our media guys to book our hotels now. Get the hotel while you can. Who is it? Yeah. Okay. So I'm saying to myself, something has to happen at this conference. They have to show up at this conference with something. They can't show up at the conference with this. Like, this worked 3 years ago. This was exciting. It's like, ooh, Cynthia Loomis, right? Hester Pierce, Michael Saylor. I can't wait to go see that. Now you're like, oh my God, where's Howard Lutnick? Where's the Orange Man? Where are these guys? Where are the S&P 500 companies? you know, why is Elon cutting costs and not buying Bitcoin? Where is he? They got to show up with something different. Because the guy who gave me some hate in the beginning about this news, dude, he's right. These guys need to do better, or a machine's got to do it. A machine is going to have to build DeFi on Bitcoin. We need DeFi on Bitcoin. Diversification is selling the winners to buy the losers. Okay, well, that's kind of how it works. Literally, it's like you sell the winner and you buy the loser. That's how it works in equities. But, you know, why would you get rid of Bitcoin to buy NVIDIA? You wouldn't. Bitcoin doesn't have an accounting problem. NVIDIA might have an accounting problem. And Bitcoin is probably, if you listen to Jordy Visser, Bitcoin is a better AI trade for this prosperous digital future. And NVIDIA is just hardware. So everybody did NVIDIA. Some people did Bitcoin, but not enough. And look what Bitcoin was able to do with that. That's just BlackRock, really. At this point, it's just BlackRock. And Michael Saylor, but, you know, again, we're too busy selling. Big Rich is here with the super chat. Oh, my God. Can you believe these guys? Okay, can you check Super and Tau? Dollar cost averaging. Dude, I couldn't agree more. You know, Rich was probably on Super before that, but these are coins in the YouTube member area, right? So when you have a tactical chart of like a Super, see all the money flowing in as the rally goes right here. This is it. This is just a tactical chart, right? And I think what you want to be doing is what you're really just doing is you're looking for tactical entry points. You're just looking for tactical entry points, right? So the 38% retracement of the last up move in Super was at 55 cents. And I guess if the wheels really come off the cart, 50 cents is where you would want to be, you know, getting along with gusto, because that is right here, right? It's where all these other prior highs were. You know, and the thing about these big AI coins, like I've heard good things and bad things about Tau. Toby Ward from the YouTube member area put one of her girlfriends in Fetch, or I keep calling it that, artificial super intelligence token. So Tau is just doing an A, B, C correction, right? So this was the trend up into March, and then A, B, C. I don't understand why, when you have all this quarter end noise, would you not be looking at this AI trade? Because what everybody is looking at, I just can't believe it. Everyone's looking at Studio Ghibli. Are you kidding me? I mean, can I grow some hair so I can pull it out? Gregory Brinkley noting ETH is at 1870. I bought ETH at 2100. I thought it was a genius. Oh, you think you're the only one getting wrecked? That's not true. That's not true at all. It's unbelievable, the puking that's occurring. And a lot of that's probably the Ethereum ETF, right? The Ethereum ETF is now working against Ethereum. This is unbelievable if you're thinking about giving up on crypto. Brandon inherited a federal budget with an annual interest payment of $517 billion and doubled that to $1 trillion. Did those people have your interest at heart, by the way? You know those people could get back in power one day. You know that, right? Especially if you got an unemployment problem. Everyone's assuming the orange man's getting like a, you know, everyone's like, oh yeah, the orange man's going to get a third term and this is going to go on forever. And yeah, oh, okay. Okay. Right. It's like any movie, you know, the bad guys will be back. These guys bankrupted the country on purpose. And no one thinks they need, like, even Tucker. Tucker was doing let's just say a healthcare interview. And there was something on my Twitter where Tucker starts off by saying privacy is not a luxury. Privacy is a necessity, because these characters they're out there. They're absolutely out there, right? Now, if we go back to what Big Rich asked for in his super chat, right? On stuff like Tao, actually, because I discussed this before, right? Like, I don't know what it was. Maybe this is why Toby, like, I listened to Toby. I was like, hey, Toby, man, you hate these meme coins. You gotta like chill out with hating these things. Now I know why. Tau goes down, it goes all the way up, and now it goes back down again. This is like making an, I don't know. Where's it going to go? Is it going to make a new low? Where's it going? This is crazy. We're taking like real AI stuff. I don't know. Somewhere in here, maybe I had. Oh no, here's what I got. So this is the robot ETF in stocks. So Jordy was the one who, like, I got it in a PowerPoint somewhere. Jordy was like, listen, robots, 10 trillion, $10 trillion industry. That's bigger than all the Magnificent Seven together right now. And who knows, they may be the ones that build the robots. I don't know. Robots, 10 trillion. And guess what? Bots, which according to Grok is the highest volume robot ETF. Again, more research required. Never even got above its 2021 high, and it ran into resistance, and now it's down only. Coming right into a former high, down 10%, 10% down. Robots are back where they were in 2018, just like ETH. So 6% down in the bots ETF. And we just continue to sell like bots, robots. They're not AI agents. Just like, this is like not even here. Well, what are we talking about? We're talking about tariffs. Let's see how we're doing on the short video. Here we go. Let's refresh the page. It's like 100 people an hour watching this video. Tariffs are crushing crypto. Twice as many views as the previous short. We're all worried about exactly the wrong thing. Exactly the wrong thing. This makes me want to cry. Like, when I saw this made me want to cry. Breaking: the U.S. government moves 100 Bitcoin worth $8 million, heading for the strategic reserve. Machines are going to have to do this. We got Michael Saylor and machines. Humans like, let's do Bitcoin at the corporate level. Let's have GameStop wreck its stock. Most likely, as required, preventing a hedge fund blow up by making the stock go lower so these gigantic shorts can cover, by the way. Another men behaving badly incident. But that's our corporate purchase of Bitcoin. So we have drone shows in Austin. We have Cynthia and Mike as the two Bitcoin lone gunmen, and we have GameStop. And we wonder why the market is down. That's why the market is down. However, how do you get rich? Right? You got to get involved in the trades that no one will even touch. So ChatGPT, blah, blah, blah. So ChatGPT comes out and everyone does Studio Ghibli. So either OpenAI doesn't have something good, or they do. They just can't get it out fast enough. And when these agents get loose in crypto, everybody is going to go, oh my God, it's an ICO season. It's AI agent season. Or as Toby Ward said in the YouTube member area, there will be no such thing as cryptos that have AI and crypto that don't. There will just be AI crypto. So you either have AI or you don't. And we'll go over corporate adoption rates for AI in a minute. Again, the government moving 97 Bitcoin. French state bank launches crypto fund. You don't think that the bankers or the Wall Street people inside these companies don't know what gold as up only means, with tariffs creating upheaval in the FX market? What the world is expecting from the SEC chairman, I don't know, man. At this point, what can he say that doesn't make me want to scream? Bitcoin options worth $12 billion expire tomorrow. What does it mean? Okay, so Bitcoin, again, options expiration, quarterly expiration, all these things, they just create insane price action. Most likely hedge funds who own this thing, everybody who FOMO'd in January is going, okay, let's just sell it all for a tax loss and come back on April 1st and start over. I mean, everyone bought the top and now they're selling the bottom, which is exactly what happens at life-changing opportunities. Because again, this AI trade has not been done in crypto. I haven't talked about it. Everyone did fart coin. We need the machines. The machines have to do stable coins. The machines have to do commerce. And all they have to do is turn on the machine. Meanwhile, we're doing Studio Ghibli, right? This is what we're doing. What are we doing? Yeah, we're doing this. This is why the market's down, right? Because we're just like, the industry is stupid. It's just stupid, right? Or it lacks the leadership. Maybe it's not stupid. I mean, yeah, we do have our own inbred kill switch, but maybe just machines have to come in and just use it. Okay, PowerPoint. So just as a reminder, even though, I'm kind of going off on the whole Studio Ghibli thing, the Eagle King made this with one picture of me. And he had Michael Saylor on the bull, and then went in right before we went on the air. And he said, change it to Trump. And I said, make Trump wear an orange suit. And boom, he had this before I went on the air. What this does is it levers small people to be able to make more money, which is Jordy Visser's point, right? In other words, one of the things that they want, which is very interesting, and thank God I'm on the right side of this. You can make a YouTube thumbnail on this thing. You can just say, give me a picture of Bill with his mouth open so that the stream moves for whatever reason. Give me a picture that has Bill with his mouth open that says, I don't know, don't quit crypto crash. It's all over, alert, whatever it is, just boom. Because they want us creating content, because they don't have enough content for their models. So you got to start making stuff up, or you got to get the humans creating as much content as possible. That's what this is about. And they're just going to keep making it easier and easier and easier for people to create content, data, or whatever. That's what they need. Now, meanwhile, back at the Orange Man Ranch, this comes from somebody that I know. Like, I don't know. There's like 3 smart people that I get information from. They're just unbelievable. So Doomberg says, tariffs, end of the world. Powell, all these clowns. Oh, tariffs, end of the world. Meanwhile, this is what the Orange Man actually said on the 26th. Let me read it to you. Trump speaks to reporters in the Oval Office, beginning of Liberation Day in America. Quote, reciprocal tariffs will be lenient. Market will like this, whatever's happening on April 2nd. People will be pleasantly surprised on April 2nd. Orange Man, maybe I'll give China a reduction in tariffs. Trump on China reprieve. Sounds like something I do. So meanwhile, it's the end of the world. Sell everything. Everyone is bearish. Everyone is bearish. And if they're not bearish, they're bullish, wounded, out. They can't take it anymore. I don't blame you. It's impossible to look at. Meanwhile, it's right on the tape. A, we're focused on the wrong thing. And B, the thing we're focused on may not be as bad as we think. Meanwhile, productivity for humans is actually going up because this thing, Jordy Visser, is like a very small example about humans creating prosperity, because there's absolutely no way to generate this, right? This used to be get a professional photo done. Go look at Miss Teen Crypto. Go look at Randy's, her thumbnails. It's unbelievable. She's got pictures of herself. Amazing. They've all got graphic arts, people, or capabilities. I don't know. We don't have any of that stuff. We have me and the Eagle King and Toby. If we can't push a button, we can't generate this stuff. We're not huge YouTubers, but productivity. Meanwhile, also, right? Unknown market wizards. Occasionally, there's one trade in a lifetime. And for me, it's robotics. This is the biggest trade, and it's the robot trade. Every company will become a robotics company. I have a coin. I have a guy who is podcasting right now. Episode 6 was out today. And every time an episode comes out, they sell the coin. Because I don't know what they're waiting for. They're waiting for some sort of miracle. The miracle is that this thing, the more it talks, the better it looks, it's going inside of a robot. And 2 years from now, you're going to have a privacy app attached to a talking influencer for tech. Who knows? Maybe he's going to be running a company. McAfee ran a company. They just program everything McAfee ever did into the robot, and the robot may run a company or start a company. Agents are going to start companies. They're going to start crypto projects. They did goat and fart. What's next? Are we saying AI can't go beyond goat and fart? I think they can. Probably. It doesn't have to be Skynet. It can just be, okay, let's just create, let's just like, okay, let's have this protocol and everyone will put it in and we'll trade it for them, or, we'll go find yield for them or whatever. It's not complicated. The opportunities are immense, but all that comes at a time we are distracted on tariffs on April 2nd. It's time to focus on robots. And if anybody knows a robot trade, please put it in the comments down below. We're looking for this for the YouTube member area, and we're going to find it. We're going to find it. Right now, it's Bitcoin and antivirus. That's the robot trade for us. And then probably artificial super intelligence token or any big AI marketplace where you can go and just get, okay, how do we get computing power? How do we get agents? Where are the agent marketplaces? We got a couple of coins in there. How do we find agents to stick in robots? S&P 500 companies, all industries, like something like a 7% AI adoption rate. So NVIDIA may be absurd. OpenAI valuation and their profitability and their P&L may be absurd. But no one's adopted this yet. All the tech companies are AI companies. That's probably not true. But no one else has adopted it. And if you have 7% implementation of this in legacy, what's the implementation in crypto? Zero. We have Fartcoin. Fartcoin forever. That's what we have. You got to be kidding me. And again, we may sell today. We may sell tomorrow. We may sell at the end of the month. Who knows what they're going to do? Who knows how stupid this can get? I don't think that's stupid, because I think 80K is the cost of production in Bitcoin. But they're selling the layer ones. They puked Avalanche. They puked ETH, right? AI agents are not going to use ETH. Okay. Right? There's $135 billion worth of stock that has to be bought at the end of the quarter. And hedge funds have never been more bearish, ever, literally ever, by a long shot. And there's a positive seasonal period for stocks around Easter, which Patreon and the YouTube members got. We just can't stop being negative. We went from all hope to all despair. And to be honest, everybody wanted Uncle Sugar to give them something. And that never works. We got to build it ourselves, or we got to build a machine that can do it. That's it. And that's going to happen. Stripe just told you that. It's amazing. It's amazing that we were looking to the government to save us, which is crazy, because that's exactly the opposite of what crypto is supposed to be about. And then to create an even bigger irony, which, I don't know if this is our fault or not, we need stablecoin proliferation in order to pump the market. And that's going to happen too. And ironically, that's the banks. The banks are going to have to create the stablecoins in order to pump the market. It's incredible. It's incredible. Meanwhile, like I said, waltzing with anarchy, gods of change don't ask permission. Just came out right before I went on the air. I can't wait to listen to it. Every time I listen to it, it puts me in a better mood. It's uplifting. There was an episode about not quitting the market, right? It was episode 2, Navigating Chaos, about not packing it in. We got 6 episodes and we got 108 subscribers. Do you know you could have bought Bitcoin at like, I don't know, 10 cents? That's when Ross bought it. Now Ross, was into all kinds of, stuff that he shouldn't have been into, but there are guys who bought Bitcoin at 10 cents. There are guys who bought Bitcoin at $1. There are guys who bought Bitcoin at $1,000, wrote it all the way down to $50, and then bought more and had it go up again. This is the environment that we're in. This is where we're at. And you can look at the charts, and basically the game with the charts is to just look at the tactical stuff and try to find bottoms. Like it's just like literally, get a 90-minute chart out. Here's ETH, no sign of a bottom. It's 9 bottom, and you get the rally and it fails. Okay. So that sucks, right? Fetch AI, super intelligence token. Okay. So on the 60-minute chart, you got a 13 bottom, a 9 bottom, and it's finally on support. So let's hope that holds. And again, this is what you're reduced to, right? I'm trying to find any type of tactical bottom. So it's a 60-minute ETH chart. It's a 13 bottom. Let's hope it does something to turn the market around. Right. Again, Solana, like that particular picture looks terrible. You probably can't get a decent looking picture, and not even that's good on a 60-minute chart. I'm just trying to find a tactical bottom anywhere. Bitcoin, right? 82K. It had to get above 90. It didn't. Now we're down at 83. And it doesn't look like that stops. That's where we're at. It's like it's a full-on quarter end give up trade. It's a give up trade, right? And in some ways, I don't blame people, right? Like people are just over it. So Bitcoin is now unchanged for the month. That's interesting, right? Bitcoin is now below the 200-day moving average. I mean, I don't know. Can we find a chart that looks decent? It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard, right? I mean, they want to go retest the cost of production. Good. Take it down and retest the cost of production. The only thing you can do, really, other than get rid of stuff that is never going to work again in your lifetime, is listen to Jordy about Stripe and the agents. Because I can guarantee you right now, if a machine was looking at this market, the machine would be like, where are we going to be in 3 months, 6 months, 2 years from now? You want to work your day job for the next 2 years? Not to be a jerk, but is your day job even going to be there in 2 years? The case to hedge your entire life with crypto couldn't be more clear. Like if you want in on the age of prosperity, crypto at these levels, I mean, again, in certain sectors, you can't find a token. Like we came up with stuff, like I hammered on Grok. I showed it to Toby. She added her spice to it in the YouTube member area. Okay. T-Bone says, I thought ASI or artificial super intelligence token had a close relationship with a robotics company, something like one of their board members. Right. Right. That's what Grok said. Grok said, Numeraire, I can never pronounce it. Let me see if I can find the chart. Because if I'm gonna yap about it for an hour and a half, okay. Somebody requesting virtual, I'll get to that. I didn't know Numeraire was listed on Coinbase. Interesting. Okay. Somebody find me a bottom. I don't know. Where's the discount zone on this on a 4-hour chart? Literally, it's a TA search for a bottom. Okay. So Numeraire has a lot of support here, but it's not at the discount zone. Okay. Share screen. I mean, actually, I take that back. Numeraire, 5-way bottom, and now the coin is trading at $8.49, and the top of the discount zone is $8.25. And this is what Grok came up with as a possible robotics coin. Yeah, I just can't believe that they're going to sell this stuff after listening to Jordy Visser. But I mean, I can, because this is what happens at bottoms. Like, people just get so myopic, they're done. People were so disgusted in 2008. So disgusted. Like, I remember being in training at Schwab. It's really kind of a funny experience, you know, like my skill set is not exactly transferable in the normal legacy system, which is one of the reasons why I went into crypto. This woman said about her 401k after 2008, she's like, I just didn't look at it anymore. I just left it there. I just left it. And they all wound up rich. They all wound up rich. Okay, Chainlink. Okay, so Chainlink on a daily chart, I mean, money flow was trying to go positive. I mean, I don't know. This was the start of the give up trade in this was the yen carry trade. Again, I'm just trying to find any kind of bottom. I don't know, man. Chainlink is breaking out of one of these formations this way. Guess you just got to hope they get it all out of their system. You know what I'm saying? Like, this feels like people are just panicking at the end of the month, or they're panicking off the tariffs headed into this April 2nd thing, which I think is total bunk. But if you're looking for support in Chainlink, it's probably $13.40, right? There's a lot of LuxAlgo support just below 14 in the event that they try to do this. And again, if you look at a 4-hour chart of Chainlink, money was flying into this stuff. Like, this is the other pain trade, right? Like, money flow went positive on intraday charts in Chainlink. And I think money was even trying to get in here on the, well, not yet, right? But, you know, money flow out was extreme. Not as extreme as other places. Now, see, this is how you know people are panicking at quarter end. People as in hedge funds, right? You know, you have something like Virtual. Now, Virtual is coming down to this, like, you know, LuxAlgo, big pennant line, trend line drawn off the lows. But obviously, people are going to look at this and go, it can't rally, and they're going to lose it, and they could panic. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, I'm looking at the charts, and I'm trying to be as objective as possible. I'm trying to find a bottom. So on a 4-hour chart, this looks very bottom-ish because you have the bottoming signals on LuxAlgo, right? You have the triangle. You have this. Okay. The worst case scenario, I guess, is 55 cents. That's pretty deep from here. But it does look like people are panicking, and it does look like there are opportunities, assuming it stops. Okay. So let's just finish Virtual. Okay. So yeah, that's it for Virtual. I don't have a lot of DeMark stuff. Again, down 10% at quarter end. We're now living in the parallel universe. It was up only at the end of last year, right? AIntivirus and ski. Okay. So AInti on a 4-hour chart. You know, what I can say about this is, you know, it is like ski in the sense that it kind of broke down out of its range and now it can't get back in there. But we're selling the coolest robot possible at a $3.2 million market cap. I don't know. In my opinion, this kind of stuff is Bitcoin at 30 cents or 50 cents or $1,000 or $1,500. I don't know. Like, this team is executing. There's a second roadmap been issued. Like, you know, one of the signs that there's a problem in your project is that you don't have a team that does anything. You have massive social media hype and a team that doesn't build anything. These guys are just building to a point where they can't stop. I got my hat in the mail the other day, but everyone is selling. Like, you know, antivirus is not immune to this. You know, so we talk about this a lot. We're trying to find something good, and it just continues to fail. So they unwound the whole up move. And to be honest, bag holders sold the rally. Bag holders just sold it. You know, an antivirus, it feels like, you know, people are just like giving up at 3 million market cap, which to me is, you know, unless your accountant is telling you to do that, but I don't know why your accountant would tell you to do that in March. Like, find me a robot play in crypto. Tell me what the robot plays are in crypto. Yes, I can show something with the Bill Noble indicator. Essentially what the Bill Noble indicator allows you to do, and let's go to ETH so I can just show it. So what the Bill Noble indicator will do is allow you to type in a certain number of symbols, right? So it'll allow you to type in 10 symbols, and it'll let you try and find 5 waves or ABC corrections. So let's say you had, I don't know, 5 coins that you were looking at, right? Okay. Or let's say you had 10 coins and you didn't know where the 5 wave bottoms were or what time frame they were on. You can type in a 4-hour chart, have 10 symbols, and it'll tell you what day you saw the 5 wave bottom, if it was in a couple days, or when the last big Elliott wave signal occurred. So if you typed in ETH, you would see ETH would tell you on March 11th, you had a 5 wave bottom. And if you're looking for 5 wave bottoms everywhere, that's what you'd use the indicator for. Because that is all that's left to do. I mean, unfortunately, in January, what there was to do was to find a top. It's like, okay, what am I going to get out of all of this? You know, we were so filled with hopium. That's what we did. But this was the opposite, right? Right. And I don't know if you ever got a 5 wave top in ETH. I don't know if you got it in Bitcoin either. No. So there's no Elliott wave signal on Bitcoin, but you do have it on ETH. And that's what it does. It searches, because what LuxAlgo does is different than DeMark. DeMark's Elliott wave is like fluid. You never know when it's like, okay, this is it. This is the 5 wave bottom. Sometimes LuxAlgo is better because LuxAlgo will be like, okay, that was the end of the 5 wave trend. Boom. And then you have to figure out the bottom from there. Right. Which is why I'm looking at the short-term charts to try to find some kind of bottom. And then we have Moonbeam for members. So naturally, you know, I don't want you to do it if it interferes with your ability to buy lunch, because that's where we are in crypto. But the $4.99 emoji membership gets priority on comments. So the Eagle King is watching. And of course, again, the AI and robotics trade that no one thinks they have to do. So again, here's the 5 wave bottom in Moonwell down here. maybe hard to see. And then we just sitting here on the discount zone with everybody giving up slowly every day, which is why the title of the stream is please stop and think before you just completely pack it in. Look, if you have to manage risk, if you know you did the wrong trade, just take care of it. Just take care of it. So you're sane. Because I know you may not be sane, which is why you're listening to me, and I may not be sane, but I do the show, so I remain sane. And then I do the YouTube member area, and Toby looks at me and goes, bro, what's the problem? Get off Twitter. Stop looking at Twitter. Stop looking at these guys. Stop looking at this. Stop looking at this. Stop looking at this so you don't run out of crypto screaming. Just don't look at it. Now, you have to look at the market. I understand. This, if you look at enough of this, you will get bearish. You know, and like having a market that's distracted and having a market that's breaking because people got sucked in at the top and they want out at the end of the quarter. Don't read into what goes on at the end of a quarter, options expiration, all this stuff is going to create all this price action that on Monday, it could like change, or at the end of the quarter, people are like, okay, that's over with. Now, what do we want to do? Resume whatever we're supposed to do in the market. How do you confirm a bottom on LuxAlgo? Okay, that's a good question. So on LuxAlgo, there are a couple different ways to find a bottom. Okay. And of course, confluence always helps. So if you have a 5-wave signal, meaning the downtrend is over, and then you have it sitting on the discount zone, because I haven't seen anything go through a premium zone, and I haven't seen anything go below a discount zone. Not on a daily chart anyway. Okay. Then what you're looking for, if I can find it, because I was just looking at something, right? Okay. One thing that you want, which you see in Solana on this daily chart, and again, you want all these things happening at once if possible. It's tough. Okay. Okay. Got to share the screen. So sharing the screen. So one of the things, and this is the guy who taught me that one of the ways you know that you want to go with a market that's coming off a bottom is when money flow switches from, this, which is just total, that's, Alameda or whatever FTX Solana related selling there was. And you want it to go green. You want money flow to actually start turning positive before you kind of catch the falling knife. And then there are the signals that come that are like the DeMark signals. It's a simple, it comes from this oscillator down here. I'm going to try to find one. Okay, I don't have it on Solana. Oh, I do have it on Solana. Okay. So what you want to see, and I know that this is very hard to see on TV. Okay, here's an X. That's like the warning sign that downside momentum is slowing. And then you have the red triangle. That's like the DeMark 13 bottom for LuxAlgo. So maybe you have these signals across a 4-hour chart. So maybe you look at a 4-hour, you have some signals, and you have it on a daily chart. We're just looking for any kind of bottom we could find. And of course, if they puke Solana and it winds up at 125, I don't know. That's the discount zone on like the short-term chart. Okay, we're looking for a confluence of signals, right? We want money to start flowing in. Are we there yet? I don't know. I just don't know how much lower they can hit this thing before it becomes totally stupid. Like equities are actually, equities are getting cracked today. It's like total panic over there because of the tariffs. And this is what I was talking about before, right? Like here's the scary thing. Like this is S&P daily. I have no sign of a bottom here, none. And I can't believe the market's trading like this when supposedly they had $135 billion worth of stock that had to be bought because of automated rebalancing, like NASDAQ down 2%. Like this is all tariffs. We're not trading robots or AI agents. We're trading tariffs. Crazy. This is the dumbest trade I've heard of. Compare Bitcoin to Tesla. Okay. Well, I mean, the thing about Tesla is they unwound everything that happened last year. Everything. Like they unwound, not everything. I'm saying the whole, 6 months. You're right. The whole second half of the year. So everything pre-election got unwound in Tesla. Now, Tesla has competition. No one likes Elon. Everyone's overly bullish, blah, 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 blah. But this is the robot company. This is the robot company, right? And I don't know if I can do it. I was looking at Tesla versus MicroStrategy. Yeah, it didn't work. I tried to do Tesla divided by Bitcoin. Maybe I can do this. Tesla divided by IBIT. Maybe that'll work. Yeah, okay, that worked. So this is Tesla versus Bitcoin. And as you can see, ironically, Tesla relative to Bitcoin has gotten like, I don't know, kind of whacked. Kind of unwound all the outperformance versus Bitcoin suddenly. Like this quarter unwound kind of a year of outperformance in Tesla. I don't know what that tells you. I don't know what that tells you. It tells you Bitcoin is holding up way better than stocks. I think that's what that tells you, right? So yeah, this is the big problem with Tesla is that the Chinese have something that can charge in 5 minutes, right? That's, BYD. 5 things to know about BYD's 5-minute charging system. Of course, Doomberg on all over that. But again, yeah, that's a big problem, right? And Elon's got a lot of problems. I understand that. But if robots are a $10 trillion industry and they do nothing but hit this market, like let's say this market sucks, like for, I don't know. Let's say this market can get a rally in May and then we have another summer like we did. And let's say it's another Q4, like 2017 monster move. If you said you could have life-changing money if you could just hang on for 6 months or whatever it is, 6 weeks, 6 days. There's people in the Patreon YouTube member areas. Guys have been here for 6 months. Are they leaving? What are you going away? What are you doing? Right? I mean, if anything, this is the time when you're doing massive deep dives. I mean, you tell me in the comments down below, a YouTube influencer, like not Jordy Visser, a YouTube influencer who's talking about AI agents, and robotics, and can actually give you 2 trades. There's artificial superintelligence token, and I don't care what anybody says, there's antivirus. And even if you don't like antivirus as an idea, if that doesn't count because I own it, then fine. Who is talking about artificial superintelligence token or TAO or any of these big coin projects as potential robotics trades? Nobody. We're all talking about tariffs. That's crazy. Okay. All right, people. The Eagle King is probably wondering if I'm going to stay on the air forever here. That's the market update. Try to stay strong. We'll see you next week.